And we're back.
And yeah, we're back. In our episode.
Oh, there's a dragon right there. I forgot about that. So might as well just get him there. So Andy, what?
Oh my gosh, I gotta go through the D-pad. I can't handle this.
Don't you do analog?
No, I have to do D-pad. Like the analog's like it's so not sensitive.
You know, because you move. I always did analog when I was little. I always did.
But that was the same with me.
But you know the funny thing is, not a lot of PS1 games use the right analog stick very often.
No, they didn't really work the camera
really well. And it's like when it gets to PS2, it's like they kind of got it right when Sony found out with the developers and all that.
Well, let me see if I remember this correctly. I forgot what the fuck he just said, and I think he told me what the actual pattern is. Oh, mother.
I like how just a little water right there just hurts you.
1,
2, 3. I think you got the pattern down. I'm pretty sure.
4. No, that was wrong.
I think that one that you landed on right there was the first one you started on.
Center.
Yeah, you gotta use the L2 and R2 to move the camera.
Oh wow, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
That's nasty.
Oh,
what?
You did it.
Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna do the challenge level?
What were we talking about last episode? I think we're I was jumping onto the subject of how Naughty Dog didn't do the same as Insomniac, and that's why they're not.
I think that's what I hated.
I
think that's what I kind of hated about early Naughty Dog, because they like, hey, let's make 3 games of a trilogy, and then it's like, let's sell it out. And that's what hurt me about Crash. They gave it to Activision, and Activision milked it so much to where it kind of hurt me with Crash and how it was coming to be, and how. It's just, it kind of hurt me. And not only that, here's Insomniac, hey, let's give it to Activision. Well, at first it was Sierra that picked it up. Well, Universal Studios, when they did it, because they controlled Insomniac at the time, and Insomniac separated from them, Universal decided to keep going with the Spyro and made a couple games out of them, but still didn't work. And it was kind of like one game was getting a glitch mess for an early PS2 game of it. Then Universal decided, okay, let's just sell Spyro to a different development team, and Sierra picked it up. The people who did Half-Life and Half-Life 2 also helped them with it.
Yeah, Sierra was the one. No, Sierra had no hand on Half-Life 2, but they did have a hand on Half-Life 1.
Yeah, and they did that for a little bit. I mean,
Sierra is primarily known for PC games.
The one everybody hates they did was Enter the Dragonfly. Everybody hated that one. And it's such a funny name if you think about it. And it's just like, But then,
there we go.
I think they did make a second one, A Hero's Tale. And it was okay at best. It wasn't the glitch mess as Enter the Dragonfly. Then they, well, actually, I think that was Universal that did those ones. The ones Sierra did was Legend of Spyro. And I'm okay with. I have a love-hate.
I'm so glad Trevor's like giving you the history of everything as I'm trying to concentrate so hard to beat this fucking level.
Yeah, like Andy's very focused, and that's why he's not talking right now. But I have a love-hate for Legend of Spyro because like there's the potential to it.
Wait, which one's Legends? Wait.
The one with the Elijah Wood being Spyro.
Motherfucker. I got you!
Motherfucker. That's all I get a comment from Andy.
No.
Andy, I don't think you're gonna make it.
I'm not gonna make this. This level's impossible.
Speaking of the challenge,
I can't do this level.
Speaking of the challenges, my dad spent so many times challenging this. And I remember one time when I lived like in town. At the time, near the pool. I lived near that area.
Surprisingly, we have a pool here in West Virginia that's in our town.
It's you know where it is.
Yes, I know.
But it's near our high school, so.
Are you fucking kidding me?
My dad spent so many times playing the challenges and beat them. Because I mean, you know, it's like takes a couple tries to do the challenges, and it's like you kind of got the pattern down for it.
Sprite, pick it up.
But then I remember one day my dad did a challenge, and I mean, this is kind of off topic, but. I choked on a sweet tart at one time when I was little when he was playing Spyro, and that's how I remembered that. And it tasted so kind of like, you know, that tarty taste in your mouth,
but they're sweet tarts.
But it's stuck in my throat, and my dad turned to me like, "You're right," and I was tearing up, and I was nodding my head like, "Yeah, I'm fine," and I ran to the kitchen. I was hitting my stomach.
So you were straight up choking as your dad's just like, "I'm playing some fucking Spyro."
And my brothers were in the room, and I got up. My mom found out I was choking, and I was like, I was hitting my belly, and I popped it out into the sink, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that hurt so much." Then I went back in the room, and I sat down watching Spyro, and my dad knew nothing about this, and I was still kind of tearing up. My eyes were bloodshot. So,
oh my gosh.
That's
one thing to learn. Don't choke on a sweet tart.
Why watching Spyro? Because you get so into it that you forget how to swallow.
that honestly sort of rhymed a little bit. Maybe I'm just wrong.
There's a new rap: choke on a sweet tart.
Choke. We're not referencing back to honestly, I'm looking back and I'm like, that was so stupid.
I still think that was probably one of the greatest lines you did. I'm sorry, but that's probably my favorite thing you said so far. Then
look back to an old Shadow of the Colossus episode and you'd understand the reference.
I'll say specifically episode 10?
Episode 10.
Episode 10 of Shadow of the Colossus. There you go. And, Andy, what level you were doing? I'm sorry, I was so busy talking about Spyro and choking on a sweet tart. What level were you on?
This is like a field level. That's all I know of it. I just know I don't know the fucking names of the levels. I just play and.
Okay, I know what you're. This is one like that little windmill thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna get the guy with the egg?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
He's up. I love. That's like one thing I kind of.
They didn't really introduce. They introduced him here. But then he didn't have a reason, till like later they make him to be holding the eggs, you know, of the other dragons.
They made him a little harder in the games progressed, I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it's like, I love it. I looked up a meme of this, and it has the guy running with the egg. It's like, does anybody remember this motherfucker? And I'm like, that's the one guy I didn't remember later on until I saw the picture. I'm like, oh my god, that's the guy who gets the eggs, and you have to get the eggs from him. I can't believe I've forgotten that one little part you can do in Spyro. For how many years I played Spyro, and it kind of made me sad and feel bad about myself. Like I do not remember half of my own childhood playing games, because PS1 was my early childhood. Even to that day, my grandpa had like a PS1 Slim. That
PS1s.
Like at the time, I had a PS2, but my grandpa had the PS1 over sometimes, and when we kind of like sold our PS1 in the house, which was a big freaking mistake, which I still kind of regret.
Well, I mean, if you had a PS2, then it's fine, right?
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know why I kind of go back to the PS1. I guess because the controls. I don't know, like the controller to it felt kind of nice to the analog.
Especially you have the original with no analog sticks.
And I do have one.
Fucking analog sticks.
And I do have one, and I do like it and play on certain games.
Like anything without an analog stick, he means.
Like Crash Bandicoot, the first one. You don't have analog, you have nothing but D-pad.
Well, unless you got the analog controller, then you're like, hey.
Not till 2.
Wait, it didn't implement? I thought it...
Because 1996.
But still, couldn't you implement the analog stick to the original, or does it not work?
I think it wasn't until 98 they started doing it to games.
Well, I mean...
So that's why, you know, Metal Gear Solid could do it, and later games like...
Oh, yeah.
It's like 95 and 96.
And also, that was when they introduced the DualShock controller. Not DualShock.
DualShock.
It was the originally called the DualShock controller.
Then every
it actually vibrated.
Then every console was DualShock 2, DualShock 3, and DualShock 4.
Yeah, actually, the PS3, the first ever controllers were the 6-axis. And there's a distinct differences between your regular good old-fashioned PS3 controllers and also the originals.
And you know what?
Good old fashioned. I mean, your regular PS3 controllers if you bought it afterwards. But yeah.
Are you still trying to get get the chest and all that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like to collect everything.
I am too. Like this game does.
You know,
Insomniac in general.
I'm not gonna get it 100%.
Insomniac in general just makes everything like collecting so nice.
Oh yeah, especially Ratchet and Clank. I love breaking the boxes and getting the bolts and everything.
And Spyro, it's like the same way. Get the gems. It's Insomniac, why are you so good at making stuff good, like so satisfying to collect?
Well, what would you say is more of your company, Naughty Dog or Insomniac?
You know, I kind of have a love-hate for Naughty Dog because, you know, they pretty much sold out a lot of their early stuff.
Oh, of course.
So it's like
Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter. They're two major ones that were by far better games than Last of Us and Drakes and Sugar. I'm sorry.
And it's like
it's so true.
And it's like
where's
you made a good trilogy of games and a good franchise, and it's like you just went up and sold it. You could at least keep it.
Yeah,
but it's like
instead they gave it to Was it Activision?
It was both Insomniac.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Insomniac took it to Activision constantly. Well, it was Universal.
Universal took Crash Bandicoot?
No. Spyro, because they own.
Well, that's Insomniac. I was meaning about Crash Bandicoot with Naughty Dog.
Well, yeah, they just straight up give it to Activision. But then Activision started milking it to the point where, hey, here's some DS games. Oh, then we finally got Spyro. Let's make a DS game where you can have Spyro and Crash.
And it just goes downhill. And honestly, actually, I feel the Spyro games for DS were really well done.
Some of them were. Like, some of them are.
Which one? There's one about ice and everything that's really good.
That's actually a good one, actually. You're not wrong about that. It's...
Did I go in a complete fucking circle?
Yeah, I believe so. And I believe there's one dragon left you have to get.
Oh my
unless you got them all in this one, and we might.
Yeah, there's one left. It's right in here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a dragon in the well. Jimmy. And his name is Gavin.
I was thinking of Jimmy, like about the whale thing, and like.
You mean Timmy?
Timmy.
Timmy's in the well. Let's go, Lassie. Oh my goodness. I remember my neighbor, like down the road, has like a dog that looks like Lassie, and you've already seen like run by the car when Matt drives, and I'm like, just stay there, Lassie.
Oh. Did I get the key? Did I ever get the key? Where? Oh my gosh. Oh, spoiler to Lassie, just letting you know. The dog doesn't make it in the end.
It's like yeah.
It doesn't make it. I'm not gonna get the fucking key for this.
Let's just continue on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
cutting this video too long already.
Yeah. I mean,
that was because I wanted to show everyone the
challenge levels.
Because we're not really gonna pertain to them. We're just gonna kind of enjoy the levels that we already have here.
Yeah.
Am I missing a doorway?
I think you have to go through that. I think you have to go through that.
Oh wait,
room.
There's another. Wait, no. Okay, I'm completely lost. Okay, I just gotta go up here. I got it. It's been a while since I played Spyro. Not too long, but it's been a while. Actually, it's been quite a while. Okay, I go this way.
But yeah, it's like I do have a love-hate for Naughty Dog.
No, Insomniac, it's all love.
It's all love.
It's all love.
I mean, yeah, they took Spyro, but I accepted what they did because it's like, hey, we did so much for Spyro that I don't think we can do more on it. But it's like I think they gave it to they didn't really give it to anybody because it's like Insomnia left the clutches of Universal to become their own big development team for so much money they made out of Spyro. Then Universal, that was the only thing they had, and they just milked it away to where they are not making money out of it. Then they just gave it up to Sierra.
No thanks.
And Sierra only made 3 games, Legend of Spyro. And
I heard some of them are good.
So okay,
then I heard some of them were really bad.
First one had potential. Second one was the one
I heard. The third one, there's a PS2 copy of it, and there's a PS3, and the PS3 one's ultra rare compared to the PS2.
That's the one I want because it's a co-op. It's a co-op game. That's basically, think of it as Spyro, but almost with a God of War aspect of the third game, and Spyro is actually an adult dragon.
Okay, that makes no sense. But okay, and now we're gonna leave this level.
So basically in the end of the second one, he gets frozen. And I don't know how that kind of happens, because I think if you were frozen, you would not like reanimate, like still grow in the.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I got frozen as a infant of 10 years old, and then when there's a moment where I'm 18 years old, I'm not going to be a full-on 18-year-old. I'm going to still be an infant, but that's how it works in video games. But we'll catch y'all later for another episode of Spyro. So see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.